Mickey and Matt, yeah, they're cranking it up. Jumping down theories like a hyperactive pup. Rambo Joe lit the fuse, Dave said take control. Now we're broadcasting live above the rabbit hole. Ancient aliens, lizard kings, government plots and shadowy things. Laughing while they're chasing the truth in the dark. Are we crazy? Sure, but that's the spark. So smash that like button, buckle in tight. We're going down deeper than a cue drop tonight. 10 for shining, the jokes are rolling. Hold on folks, the truth is scrolling. Yeah, smash that like button. Welcome to the show. We're live above the rabbit hole. Mickey's on the mic, dropping jokes like bombs. Matt's taking notes while he's reading the Psalms. Bigfoot, chemtrails, a man in black. Whatever you believe, it'll make you laugh back. Was it real? Was it stage? Was the moon landing fake? Ask the boys, they know the code, or at least they'll improvise an episode. Smash that like button, let the madness roll. Welcome to the wild side, above the rabbit hole.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Wherever you are on the planet, we're here with you right now. And today's show, Matt, I'm pretty excited about. Not like excited just because it's fun to talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like this subject.
I do too. Today, Of course, we are talking about the Anunnaki. If you're not familiar with the Anunnaki go back to probably what is, in fact, the earliest mention of civilization on Earth with the Sumerians. They were basically deities from ancient Mesopotamia, what we would call pagan gods, whatever. There's a lot more to it. And they have basically been remembered all this time because of theories or old school stories that went along from those days. And their memories, which there were millions of gods throughout history and culture. For some reason, this one stuck hard. And this one continues to mystify and baffle a lot of people, Matt.
You know, a lot of people will chalk this up to mythology, of course. I mean, that's kind of the mainstream narrative of what the story of the Anunnaki are. But it's interesting how the story kind of overlaps with some other civilization stories as well, and we're going to get into some of that too, I think.
Yeah, it's very interesting, you know, when you look at mankind as, you know, societal, like when we started living together, sharing stories, recording history and writings and tablets. This was, if we look at it as it didn't happen, that it's all mythology, this is basically what modern day religion would be. A belief in something above you that had control, had the ability to affect our outcome. It judged us. It did all those type of
it was
things.
their way of explaining the universe, they think. A lot of people will say, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that a lot of people look at it as perhaps myth, just legend.
So you go back, you know, it goes back, what, 4,000 some years, maybe? Something like that. Well, this tablet does anyway.
Right.
Which comes from Sumer, right?
Yes.
And this is the ancient Sumerian language, which to me, if you look at it, it just looks like, I don't even know I would recognize that as a language if I saw it.
No, of course, it's all hieroglyphics.
It looks like just a decorative design that somebody put on a tablet.
You're right. It looks like something that a hippie would pay $8,000 for and mount it on their coffee table.
Yeah. I would probably do that though, man.
I probably would too, if it was that actual stone.
Right.
But you know, the basic meaning of what they were, the term itself, Anunnaki, comes from Sumerian Anuna, meaning something like offspring of An. Or an.
Well, that's debated too.
Well, I'm just going through the etymology of it. That is, or princely seed, offspring. It derives from An, which back then was their sky god, and Una, related to offspring or seed. Later, Akkadian forms include Anunnaki. It does not literally mean those who from heaven to earth came in the way some modern interpretations claim. That's a later elaboration on it.
Yeah, so there was an author, I can't remember his it was like Zachary Sitchin.
Zecharia Sitchin.
Zecharia, is that what it is? Zecharia Sitchin. Yeah, he wrote a bunch of books.
The 12th Planet is the one that really dealt with this.
Yeah, I read one of his books. I didn't read all of them, but he's kind of a fringe guy when it comes to this.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got some wild claims about it, but a lot of the mainstream guys will poo on his stuff a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I just want to turn the attention real quick since we're talking about that. If you really think about that logic, he's a whack, he's this and that, would nobody believe it, right? So long ago. How does he know? I want to go back 7 years when everybody thought Dr. Fauci was hiding information.
Yeah.
And he did it right in front of our faces. We accepted it. And now we're learning yesterday, he was full of shit, right? So the idea that this could be true and it's just discredited because mainstream doesn't want to have to realize
I think
they were wrong.
I think part of the problem with some of his stuff is a lot of people. I mean, look, ancient Sumerian, it's a dead language, right? Like we said, look at this thing.
Right.
How do you make sense of that? How do you even learn
I mean, I can
Sumerian?
read it. I can read it.
You can?
You want me to start at the top left or bottom right?
Please.
From the top left.
I think you read it left to right, don't you?
Well, I read them back. I got dyslexia. So I read it backwards.
I'm sorry, right to left, actually. Is how you read it.
Yeah, right. I read it left to right.
Yeah.
When I'm reading my Sumerian text. You want me to read it?
Yeah. Go
Real
ahead.
quick. It says, the Anunnaki, that's that first line, and then it goes up a little bit. That's showing you the Anunnaki rose to us. Then they leveled out. Then they built a culture for us. Then we ruined it by being human. And since then, that we have blamed the Anunnaki for all of our problems. If you look right in the middle, you'll see a dude laying on a deathbed. That's us. You go right to him. That's the tomb. Yeah, I got it all.
Yeah.
Basically, we screwed up the Anunnaki. They were trying to tell us what to do.
Right.
And this is the story of how we told them to F off. And then we ended up in a rock.
Well, I think that's part of Sitchin's problems, though. He taught himself ancient Sumerian. You remember how that went for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, but you see it, it's the same thing.
And I think they think he mistranslated a lot of words, which could lead to, some big variances in stories. Because, he talks about they came from this planet called Nibiru, right?
Yes.
Now, Nibiru, I don't know how he came up with this, but he came up with the idea that it rotated around our sun every 3,600 years.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And that's where these guys came from. Now, a lot of the mainstream archaeologists and I guess people who studied ancient Sumerian will say that he translated that word wrong. Like it doesn't mean a planet. It means something to do with like the solstice or a star or something like that.
Well, his main theory, I believe, was that they showed up about 500,000 years ago and they mined the planet for gold. And in doing so, came across Homo sapiens.
Yeah, the problem was their planet, Nibiru,
right,
which Sitchin claims, was dying, and they needed something, I guess.
They had a flood.
They needed something to reflect the rays of the sun, I believe,
correct,
out of their atmosphere, and they had to mine gold because of that.
Correct. And
right?
And then what happened was they had a great flood on their planet. Seriously.
Yeah.
And they were,
I thought the flood was our planet. It was on Nibiru?
No. So what I'm saying is the flood was here.
Yeah.
That's why they left, was because of the great flood.
Yeah. So a lot of the story, was the Anunnaki came here and took whatever kind of hominid was walking around the earth at the time.
Yeah.
And intermingled their DNA with our DNA and essentially created slaves to work for them and mine gold.
To mine gold.
Because we had a very gold-rich planet.
Ask yourself this question. How would have humans back then, way back then, known the value of gold? Well, they had no technology.
Ask yourself this. Why would they value gold?
How did they find it? How did they know what it was?
Why would they place any value on it? Because
that's my point.
You don't, there's no electronics.
Nothing.
Yeah. What were they doing with it? I don't even know if they could manipulate gold and make it into anything beautiful at that time.
I mean, you could probably have melted it back then if you could access fire. You could have figured out a way to melt gold and form it into something, which is fine. But these cultures were obsessed with gold. They sacrificed humans for gold. Gold was everything to whoever showed them. And it's a reason that gold is still valuable. But why would the early humans know how valuable it was and for us to keep track of it? For instance, we were taught it and we were shown it. When they left, the theory is, by the way, everything I'm saying, like I know, these are theories, I'm not speaking facts. But the theory is that they left. And when they left, we understood one thing. There were people in the sky that were more powerful and stronger and smarter than us. And they wanted this shit, the gold. So apparently there's people in the sky and gold is valuable. Early humans. That's what they did. They covered themselves in gold. They became gold worshipers, and they built societies around it for zero reason other than having a commodity that most humans on Earth recognized as valuable. So when you spread out mankind being all over the planet 5, 6, 7, 8,000 years ago, building these early cultures, and you see all of them obsessed with gold, that comes from one place. Knowledge that did not spread on Earth because we couldn't move around it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is I truly believe that someone taught us that gold was valuable and that we need it. And then over time, we figured out uses for it and realized we could trade with it and hold value with it because for whatever reason, humans valued it. It's built into us. If somebody tells you gold's worth a lot of money, you go, yeah, it is. We know. We don't know why. We don't know why.
It's only the value that we give it. Right.
Correct. And I think early people would have been ignorant to anything other than what more intelligent people were telling them. If dudes come out of the sky in a ship and they land and they walk up to you and they go, hey, listen, you're like living in a cave. Right, you're chasing around a wild boar trying to feed the village, and these dudes land in a plane.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, so supposedly they landed here, 450,000 years ago. And when did humankind supposedly start? They think about 300,000 years ago. That
I don't even buy any of that crap anymore. Like I just think that they haven't found our real
maybe
yet.
There could have been people here long before that.
Hundreds of thousands of years
what the Sumerians point to when they talk about their flood.
Right.
And that flood myth or story, I should say, is in cultures all over the world. Yeah, some of them just replacing the names of the people that are involved, and it's the exact same story.
Well, one of the things that I think is most interesting about all of this is the idea that we were seeded or we were adjusted. I think the DNA code 50 years from now will explain everything.
Yeah, well, you talk about the major figures in this story too. I mean, you have Anu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is the like the Sky Father in the myth or story. And then you have Enlil, who is like one of the other powerful guys.
Yep.
And then Enki, who is like their supposedly the creator of humans, right?
Yes.
They talk about how they in the story, I believe
you said Enki.
Enki, yeah.
Enki, yeah, E-N-K. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure you're talking about the same person.
And supposedly he's the one that created humans from the Anunnaki DNA.
Right. He was like their, Dr. Mengele, right? He was their experimental dude.
He supposedly put it in almost like a laboratory type thing where they tried to create these beings outside. I think the story goes that, at first they did it with they intermingled with the male DNA.
Yeah.
and created these like monsters.
The Nephilim,
Right? Maybe. And then they did it with the women and had the child born inside of the human woman.
Right.
And they came out looking like the Anunnaki.
Yes.
I guess we were just like, what were we? Just these hairy apes at the
Yes.
time, I guess.
Yeah.
And came out looking more like the Anunnaki at the time. So that they believe, the Sumerians believe that they seeded humankind.
Yeah. I mean,
but as slaves in some stories.
You know what's fascinating to me, honestly?
Yeah.
Like, let's just say that perhaps the Anunnaki were real, right? A civilization that was far advanced, 1 million years ahead of us, say. They come here, they find a planet, they're able to land on it. They find these basically monkeys, us, running around the planet, right? Hiding, going in caves, carrying sticks. And they're looking at us like, what the is this?
Yeah.
Right. Then they realize, wow, they're actually not stupid. They're actually intelligent creatures. They're just very, very primal at the early stages of their evolution. And perhaps they saw in us and had the technology to alter who we are. I mean, we can do it now, right?
Yeah.
We can take two animals, technically, and infuse them, see what comes out of it. I mean, we can do it now. So this whole idea that the whole timeline of everything is based on us, to me, that's always been the disconnect for people. You have to think, like, the universe is what, 13 billion years old? They think Earth is about 4 or 5 billion. One lifetime, say 80 years. How many times does 80 go into a billion?
Yeah.
So if somebody has, just say this, just think about this. In the year 1900, we were riding horses, 95% to go anywhere. You could take a boat, and that was really it, or you walked. Now, in 125 years of human history, in the last 125, we went from riding horses to circling the moon with video cameras, allegedly shooting out the window and getting pictures of our own planet. We did that in 100 years. Imagine what someone could have done with just, say, 500,000, 500,000 out of 13 billion.
If they'd been around that long.
If they had developed 500,000 years before us, where they would be.
Yeah, how quickly their technology would have advanced and their capabilities.
Over those 500,000 extra years.
And what they believe is they also believe that a lot of them taught humankind different things. They taught us farming.
Yep.
And they taught us metallurgy, and all these different things they taught humans to do. And then at some point, they think right around when the Ice Age ended, some of the Anunnaki wanted to eliminate the human race, which led to the biblical flood here on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, and this is where these two stories get interesting, because in the biblical flood, it's that God was mad at us, and he flooded the earth, and he told Noah, hey, go build a boat, get all them animals on it, and just wait for it to land.
Yeah.
Right? I really do think that there comes a time in people's lives where you have to stop and just say, okay, is it a possibility?
Yeah.
Dude, the things we're learning in 2026, our government is seriously discussing things like aliens.
Yeah.
Flying saucers. Martians. Like serious discussions. Congressional hearings. They don't do that over myths. There's never been a congressional hearing on Zeus or Pluto or Mercury or any of these other gods. Ever in the history of us have we never taken seriously that they're real. But maybe it's time humans just get rid of their arrogance for a second and saying, okay, I'm not saying you're right, but I'll listen. That's all we're asking. Just listen. And then at the end of it go, well, that was a waste of an hour and a half. Right? I mean, let's get a little bit of business here, Matt. Layla's Nana, who we met in Dallas, one of the greatest ladies ever. She's a phenomenal woman. Gifted 5 subscriptions to Above the Rabbit.
Thank you so much.
Layla's Nana, you're the best. Also, Double L 555, the great Lisa. Missed you guys the last few days. Looking forward to this topic. Lisa, thank you. $20. You are a doll.
Thank you, Lisa. Much appreciated.
You know, Matt, when a lot of this stuff is talked about amongst scholars, what happens is people that have higher education, it's religious to them. Knowledge is religious. Okay? So if you went your whole life learning this thing, and then somebody comes along and goes, hey, I know you have a PhD, you have a doctorate in 2 other things, you have this, that, but just so happens on this one subject, you were wrong. They can't handle it.
You think that?
I think it greatly.
I think a lot of them are open to new evidence.
No, not anymore.
And there are a lot of theories that, lack some evidence, and there are also guys running around, unfortunately, who say they know ancient Sumerian, right?
I don't take that as a literal translation.
Who either A, don't know it, or B, have lost some things in translation. There's some things they don't understand about the language, and they interpret something wrong, which takes the story on a massive tangent, right?
Yes.
So that's a possibility too.
Of course, all this could be dead wrong.
Right. But, you look back through history and you got like the Epic of Gilgamesh, right?
Yeah.
Which is almost like the Noah story. It's the same kind of thing. It's the flood, but there is a divine council that brings this devastation to Earth, which kind of lines up with the Anunnaki story with the flood too. Now, could some of these stories have taken bits and pieces from other cultures? Maybe. You also have to ask a question: Did any of these other ancient civilizations did they have access to all other cultures' stories like this? But it's interesting how cultures who did not touch or have any communication with each other all have this flood story.
Well, I think the flood story is true. I just don't think it's as grand as people think. I honestly think it was in an area where most humans were at the time. Like, for instance, I don't think the south of Africa flooded.
Like it might not have been the entire Earth. It was the part where civilization was that there was problems.
The Middle East. I mean, I hate to say it that way.
And that could have been the melting of the ice age. That could have been a meteor. People think there's all kinds of different theories about why civilization might have been wiped out by a flood. Bring up the third from the bottom. P Jams.
No. In the chat.
Oh,
right there. Read that, Matt.
Yeah, the problem I have listening to this is Mickey Matt don't know this story told to us by the galactic races. Well, come on and tell us. We got the link there.
Yeah, click the link and tell us about the galactic races.
Yeah, there's all kinds of theories.
I want to make this clear one more time. What we're talking about is theoretical.
Yeah.
We're talking about the theories, not we can believe one thing or another. That's our own opinions. Yeah. But we're not stating this as fact.
You're all welcome to call in. We have the call link linked. It's pinned to the top of the chat right now.
See, Matt and I like to do this with you because Matt and I are learning as well. So what we try to bring is the knowledge that we've heard about this stuff, the theories, the things that have been talked about or not talked about.
Yeah.
And then just try to get you to go, no, Mickey, that's not right. Or Matt, you're forgetting about this. Like, this is a big classroom and we're not the teachers. We're just leading the discussion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't have enough information that would allow me to say, listen to me. The only thing I'm saying listening to are the theories. What is your theory? Do you buy into any of it? Do you believe that a advanced
Well, look, I was raised Catholic, right? I was
Yep.
raised Christian.
Me too. Excuse me, Matt.
You know, when you're raised and you go to a Catholic school, you're taught about religion. You're taught that the story of the creation story from the Bible, and that's how things happened. So everything else, as you're raised as a child, is just a myth, right? It's mythology. It's dead religions that were untrue. But I'm not looking at things necessarily as there are different gods that are true,
Right.
but there are possibly some stories that they wrote about in these ancient times that we think are mythology, but they actually saw something. Maybe there were visitors from another planet who came here to this earth a long time ago.
What I find to be the most about what you just said, what I find to be the most interesting part of all this is that people deny theories based on other theories.
Yeah.
That's what's always driven me crazy. It's like, well, show me the proof that it's not here, that it's wrong. What is the proof that it didn't happen? Well, there's just no proof that it did. Okay, there's no proof of gravity.
You can't prove
either.
it negative, but yeah,
that's how they always frame it, so that you can't move forward with the discussion.
Yeah, I mean, huge claims like that do demand good evidence, though. I mean, I understand that,
Right?
But you have other stories too, like the Book of Enoch, and you talk about the Watchers in there, who a lot of people think could possibly be angels who descended to Earth and intermarried with humans, and taught forbidden knowledge.
That's when you get into the Nephilim.
It's the story of the Anunnaki, and they identifies the Watchers as the Anunnaki from Sumerian mythology, and supposedly they bred with the women here on Earth and created the Nephilim, which are mentioned in Genesis in the Bible.
Yeah, so you have two different cultures, right, over a period of say 1,000 years, that have basically the same story, different names.
There's another place it might be also in Genesis, I think, but they talk about giants still roaming the earth.
Book of Enoch.
Well, no. I'm saying besides the Book of Enoch, in the actual canonical Bible, there's another mention of when giants still roam the earth. Then you've got the David and Goliath story.
Yep.
And people theorize that these are all giants that were left over from the flood, from post-flood.
Yeah, I mean, you can't half of it be true. Like, I think a lot of these stories came from truth, but over thousands of years, the printing press was invented, 700 years ago?
Yeah.
Is that about right? When was the printing press invented, Matt?
You want to look it up?
Yeah, let me see. You know what? Let's go. We haven't brought our guests on in a while.
It was probably 1600s?
Probably 1400s.
1400s?
Let's see. When was the modern day printing press invented?
That's our AI co-host. Is she talking to you?
I thought she would.
The modern printing press as we know it today evolved gradually. In the mid-20th century, offset printing became widespread. Then in the 1970s, the advent of digital printing with innovations like laser printers and inkjet technology.
Sage, stop.
They were printing before that, though.
When was the first record of printed material on parchment or paper or anything? When did that start?
The earliest known printed material dates back to ancient China. Around the 9th century, they used woodblock printing on paper. One famous example is the Diamond Sutra, printed in 868 CE. So printing on paper has been around for well over a millennium.
It's Germany 1440.
Yeah, 1400, right?
Yeah, 1440.
And then one other question, Sage. I'm curious about this. What percentage of people on Earth prior to, say, 1500 could read in any language?
Before 1500, literacy was pretty limited, especially outside the elite. In many regions, maybe only around 5 to 10% of the population could read, mostly clergy, scholars, and a few nobles. Widespread literacy only began to rise after the printing press made books more accessible.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this, Matt, if you think about it, 1400. So we're saying, let's go back to, what is that then? 600 years, right? Prior to 600 years ago, about 5 to 10% of people on Earth could read and write. Therefore, all they knew how to learn was what someone told them. And interestingly,
yeah, they passed a lot of stuff verbally.
Did you hear who had access to the ability to read and write? Religious leaders, nobles, elites.
Of course.
The people that controlled everything. That's why when you really go back in time, you start to realize how easy it was to manipulate people. No one knew anything. They knew nothing but the neighborhood they lived in. Right? I mean, how would you?
Yeah, people did pass stories verbally through families and,
Right. And then, so for instance, you were from, say, Samaria, right?
Yeah.
And you told stories to your children, and years later, those children end up in Egypt now, right there in Egypt, and they're telling these stories. But these stories are 150, 300, 500 years old. Some details get changed. A little bit enters into the equation that wasn't part of the original story, or things get left out.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying is, when you talk about situations like these, you have to take into account nobody knew anything.
A lot of people think that, this stuff was a pre-civilization too. Like the Sumerians were almost a reset.
You mean we were more advanced before they got here?
Well, not necessarily that maybe we were more advanced, but they at least saw some technological things from another, some visitors maybe who helped them build the pyramids and all different things around the world.
Yeah, I can't even argue with that philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I really can't.
Yeah.
I don't know at all if we know exactly what's true and what isn't. Obviously, we don't. I'm just saying, why do we always go to, that's not true? That's not true.
No, look,
that's not true.
When you talk about guys like Graham Hancock, who's a researcher, he's written a lot of books and things like that. He's a very interesting guy to me, if you want to search him out, if you don't know him already. But, some of what he's doing right now is collaborating with other sciences. So,
yes.
so it's geologists and all these other people besides just archaeologists, all looking at things together and putting a story together with all their knowledge in each of their fields. So they're coming up with, it's a broader story that is starting to flesh out when you start to do that.
Correct. And I think certain things that we consider education are kind of innate in us, like arithmetic. Basic arithmetic. If you have one thing and add another, that's two.
Yeah.
You might have had another word for it, dose, whatever. And you get 3, 4. You just line things up. We had words for those things, right? And then over time, our self-education, people were able to do things in our own brains. Like, we did create a lot of brilliant things ourselves. I'm just saying our history, which we're so proud of, may not be what we think. By the way, M. Zimmer, 369, $50 rant. This is for the bridge, not the one in Baltimore Harbor. I believe in you both. We the People is the most inclusive club of all.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, we will talk about the bridge a little later. Another show Matt and I are doing on Tuesday nights coming up. But right now, Matt, the thing we're talking about, of course, is the Anunnaki. Is there somebody in the chat room?
Yeah, let's take this call. Don.
Who's this?
Don, you are on Above the Rabbit Hole. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good afternoon.
Wish you called in more. I like talking to you, man. Smart guy.
Thanks, man. Working guy. Hard to get in all the time, but I'm on lunch break. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking if I could just take a couple of minutes. I have a few points. This is a great topic. I'm going to kind of fire away if you don't mind, and then maybe we can discuss after I throw it out there.
Do your thing.
Number one, so like the theory, a lot of theories is that Enki, which was one of the Anunnakis, was actually more compassionate for humans. Supposedly in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Enki is the one who who warned of the flood coming, because it was Enlil, however you want to pronounce it, was the one that felt that the humans were getting too populated and too smart and living for too long, so that he is the one that said, we have to stop this from happening. And it was actually Enki that stepped in to give special messages to certain people to say, hey, this is about to happen. I don't want to see you guys all destroyed, so try and preserve yourself. Now, here's where it gets a little twisted, because you got into kind of the Bible and go into translation and all this kind of like Constantine stuff, where maybe the Bibles were altered, whatever. We could go on for hours on that. But my point is this, is when it could get a little twisted is in the Bible, the Adam and Eve stories claims that a snake or a serpent was the one who came and tempted Eve. And that's the one that said, eat from the knowledge tree, right? So if you reverse it and look at it from actually alternate perspective, and go back to the Sumerian times, because if we all can understand, a lot of the information in the Bible comes from ancient scriptures like the Sumerian tablets and poems and things that came from there that found its way into the Bible. However, I do think some of it became inverted. So if Enki was the compassionate one and he wanted to save that race of humans, would that make Satan or the serpent actually the good guy in the Garden of Eden, trying to convince us to, like, why would God keep us from knowledge? Why would God want us to be suppressed? Why would God destroy the world? Okay. These are just, again, theories, things I'm throwing out there, things I've heard, some research I've done on my own. I also wanted to jump on the whole DNA manipulation and the hybrid, right? The creation of human species by the Anunnaki. If you look into Greg Braden, which he has great work also, he believes that he has proof that our DNA was manipulated. At some point, all of a sudden, we became a different species. He talked about that 2 chromosomes are actually like bonded together, that it looks like some type of technology way back when fused these 2 chromosomes together and also caused our telomeres to be shortened, which basically equals a shorter lifespan. Which goes back to the whole theory that we were living too long, right? Because the Bible said we will live to 500 years old, that, at some point, maybe one of the Anunnakis that wasn't in favor of that wanted to change all of that, right? Then you go into like the Jesus story, right? Jesus is the Immaculate Conception. Right? All of a sudden, Mary is just impregnated by some god or mysterious force. If you go back to also the Anunnaki and the Sumerian tablets, we were being created and women were being immaculate conception through these alien races or star people, hence the mythology of people like Hercules, right? Because Hercules was part man and part god. His dad was Zeus, but yet his mother was not a god. So all of these mythologies and these different theories that I'm sharing right now kind of interconnect with the story or the beginning of Sumerian time. So I just wanted to share some of that and throw it out there and see what you guys thought.
You're absolutely right. I mean, when you're talking about the story of the Nephilim that are in the Bible, they're supposedly the offspring of the gods of man, right? Or the sons of man, excuse me, and human women. A lot of people call them angels. Some people call them, aliens. It depends on what your interpretation is. But supposedly these Nephilim became these just evil. They were giants and evil creatures. And that supposedly was the reason that in that mythology, the flood was to happen, was to cleanse the world of these Nephilim, these offspring of these forbidden relationships that these angels had with women. And
well, I think. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think one of the things, and Don, I mean, your knowledge on this is incredible, and thank you for sharing it all. But one of the things you mentioned about how they all interconnect. It goes to my old theory that I do believe thousands, maybe 10, we were an advanced society in a way. And I think we were destroyed by either them, whoever them are, or ourselves. And
Yep.
what was left and lived through it was primal. We had nothing. We were barren. These people came and they helped us advance. Now, did they try to take advantage of us and like we would have done to any other culture that humans have done throughout it? We do it to each other. You know, look what we do to animals. If we want the land animals are on, we either just herd the animals and put them somewhere else, or we kill them all. I mean, we have no respect for life overall. Why would they? So I'm just saying that I love the idea. I just believe that all of our history is wrong, but partially right. And when you get out all the parts that are bullshit from everyone and get all the parts that are true from everyone, it's probably a lot closer to who we really were or are.
I agree. You should also look into Thoth. I don't know if you ever did any research on Thoth, which is like the Emerald Tablet. They also believe that he was able to project his consciousness into another physical body, and they believe that Hermes, which is Hermes Trismegistus, is actually a reincarnation of Thoth. Thoth supposedly comes from Atlantean, you know, and then you have Hermes, which is ancient Egypt, but both are teaching very similar, you know, I guess natural laws or universal laws, and Jesus actually is in alignment with the teachings of Thoth and Hermes Trismegistus, which goes back to maybe Jesus traveled to the ancient mystery schools of Egypt, where his 13 years or whatever was missing. Yeah. So I just figured throw that out as another topic for another day. But
I was just going to bring up Atlantis and you know, that we could very well be a reset of some former advanced society like Atlantis. I mean, when you talk about the Egyptians too, a lot of people believe that, that there is a giant labyrinth underneath of the sands in Egypt. And a lot of people believe that could have been a library. And the only people that were allowed in there, they would allow the pharaohs and they would allow the priests in there. And they believe that there was a lot of literature that came from, I always forget the word, but it's the people who came before, the people who lived before. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these books and scrolls or whatever they were, things were destroyed just over time. And I think the Romans burned a library at some point that the Egyptians,
Alexandria.
Yeah. So there could very well be a lot of knowledge that they had way back then that we still haven't seen yet, or somebody's keeping a secret.
I agree. Edgar Casey actually predicted underneath the Sphinx of the Paw that there's going to be scrolls that are going to be uncovered at some point, which leads to your very theory that you were just speaking of.
He also
and do you think it's a coincidence? I'm sorry, real quick. Do you think it's a coincidence that Trump is talking about a golden age? And if you go back into Atlantean times, it was about the golden age. So just saying, I'm just saying.
I really believe that we are about to learn things that literally we start a new world overnight.
I believe it.
What's coming is I worry about humans because there's a reason they're building so many hospitals, mental hospitals. There is a reason that all this stuff is starting to get real traction. You know, let's just go back in the internet 5-6 years ago. If you would have seen a video posted that said they were eating babies, or that, you know, the Nephilim were spawns of this, or that the pyramids had 1,200-meter towers under them, you would have looked at your phone and went, oh my God, we've lost it, right? Because they did.
Absolutely.
I just watched a video of 8 to 10-year-old videos that were posted. People got banned from the internet, and it was stuff we're having major discussions about now. That was just in the last 10 years. So imagine the last 7,000 when people had no way to get this information out. What's happened finally is the information outran the liars. For years.
Oh, that's a good line.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, the information got faster than the people providing it. So once that happens, the people providing it have to go, okay, none of it's true. This isn't true. That's true. We lied about this. COVID was fake. And that's just all bullshit. All of it. Hey, Don, you're welcome.
The whole lid. The whole lid is about to be blown off. And it's people like you guys that are doing this podcast. Now, I know there's a lot in the, and I'm a big supporter of the Q movement. I think this goes beyond politics. It goes beyond, you know, and I know they said going biblical. I even think it's beyond biblical. I think it's, you know, a complete shift in human consciousness and history of where we came from and where we're going and what our real capabilities are. But it's people like you in this podcast that people that are looking for answers so we can avoid the hospitals like you talked about, because they'll go crazy. That's why it's also happening in increments, right? We're doing it little spits at a time so people can soak it up, and then we go to the next level. Then we go to the next level. Like, they can't just smash it into everybody, because people, you're right, would go insane. So they have to do it in levels and layers, and it's podcasts like yours that introduces this type of information so that at least can plant the seed or have people have an open mind, so when the truth smacks them in the face, they can go, wait a minute, I think I heard about this. Mickey and Matt were talking about this. Let me go back to that, you know, that type of thing.
Well, that's what we're hoping, and Matt and I talk about that all the time. We just want to be the people that are able to say to the newer people hearing all this for the first time, take a deep breath. There's a lot to learn, you know. Hey, Don, I'm gonna let you jump, brother. You listen.
Appreciate
man.
you, Don.
Yeah,
thank you for the call, man.
Call more, bro. You're a great guy to have on this show. Thank you, man.
Would love that. We appreciate
Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy.
All right, peace, bro.
We've got the call link up right now if you want to call us. And I know you have a video, I think, of the DNA, don't you? The DNA thing?
I think that's this one.
That Don was talking about. Before we do that, though, let's thank our sponsor, the Feel Great Protocol.
Yes,
by
please.
Unicity. And you know how you could take advantage of that, right, Mick?
All you got to do to
being fat. How do I do that? Go to quitbeingfat.com.
Yes, quitbeingfat.com.
That's what you got to do. Go to quitbeingfat.com. I got to show you something, Matt.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, it's going to look weird, but like from the side, I'm not holding anything in.
Yeah.
You remember when we started? I mean, I still got a little bit.
Yeah.
Right there. But dude, it was out to here.
How long has it been now? It's been
3 months.
3 months. Yeah. So you're losing weight at a very healthy rate,
You know what
I would say.
But here's what's happening. I'm actually, like, if you look at my face, like, I can see my face thinning.
Yeah.
Like, I still got this little goblet.
No, I look back at some old pictures, and you can definitely see the difference
in me
now. Yeah.
Well, thank you,
for
man.
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've had a bunch of people who have had success too. Our viewers who have left us messages, like Brad, of course.
Yep.
Dropped 35 pounds, going for another 15. And he's got his lab results from a physical, all good. And A1C is the lowest he's had in years. He said he was always near pre-diabetic and now nowhere near. So we appreciate that, man.
I'm laughing not at you, Matt. Look at this. Look at the bottom comment.
The bottom one? Yeah.
Right
this
there.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I stood up.
Is that me or you?
Me, because I stood up and showed myself from the side. Bad language, Octavius, but absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. But if you want to take care of that, you know where to go. Quitbeingfat.com. There's a video there that can tell you all about it, and you can see if it's right for you. And the best thing is the Feel Great Protocol has a 90-day money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose, just results to gain. No promo code needed if you go to quitbeingfat.com.
Now, I'm going to read this rant, Matt. It's just from hold on. Jesus. Do 69 here.
Yeah.
$1. Gematria proves that the original Hebrew Old Testament and original Greek New Testament could not have been written by man with thousands of supercomputers. It had to be written by a higher power.
Wait, read that again. Gematria proves.
Now, wait. Gematria, for those that don't know, is the science of equating numbers and how they work as a code, correct?
Well, you assign
words,
numbers to the letters, right?
You. Yes.
A is 1, B is 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is that itself proves that the original Old Testament. Yeah, I don't understand what they mean exactly.
Read that again, will you?
All right. Gematria proves that the original Hebrew Old Testament and original Greek New Testament could not have been written by man with thousands of supercomputers. It had to be written by a higher power. I don't know what that means other than, are you saying creatively or physically actually penning it? Because this is over thousands of years. A couple thousand years is the Old Testament's history. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what they mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to hear more about
But
that.
I know enough about Gematria.
Call us or pop it in the chat if you've got more info about that.
And anybody that wants to call in and talk about this stuff, let's do it.
You want to check out this DNA? What is this the video he was talking about?
I can't remember which one is which, but I think that's it. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
If the whole Anunnaki story is a global story of a non-human intelligence that was manipulating genes all over the planet.
The stories have been hiding in plain sight for millennia. Tales of giants and gods who descended from the heavens. Now those myths have been proven true. Scientists analyzing the DNA from a recently discovered Anunnaki king's tomb have made a world-shattering breakthrough. The genetic material is not entirely human. In fact, it contains a sophisticated structure that appears to be intelligently designed, something that shouldn't exist in nature. This isn't just a new piece of history. It's a revelation that connects our oldest civilizations to an alien ancestry, and the truth is more shocking than we were ever prepared for. The Chamber of the Giant. Many people are crazy about ancient mysteries, but the thing nobody tells you is that some discoveries are so profound they get buried twice, once by sand, and a second time by secrecy. In the year 2000, a team of German archaeologists led by Dr. Jörg Fassbinder got rare permission to explore a remote sector of southern Iraq. Their goal was to survey the desolate landscape near the ancient ruins of Uruk, one of humanity's first true cities. For weeks the work was grueling and, to put it mildly, uneventful. But then, ground-penetrating radar picked up an anomaly, a large rectangular structure buried nearly 50 feet below the desert floor. After weeks of careful digging under the watch of local authorities, they hit solid stone. It was a massive, perfectly sealed entrance to a tomb, constructed from black granite that wasn't native to the region. The slab was covered in strange engravings. Some symbols resembled early Sumerian cuneiform, but others were completely unknown, forming a language that baffled the experts on site. You see, this wasn't just an old tomb. It felt different, almost alien. When they finally managed to open the chamber, a wave of dry, cold air rushed out. The tomb was perfectly preserved. In the center, lying on a massive stone platform, was a colossal humanoid skeleton. It measured over 12 feet in length. The bones were impossibly thick and dense, and its limbs were longer and proportioned differently from any known human ancestor. The most shocking fact was the skull. It was enormous, with a pronounced brow ridge and an elongated cranium that sloped backwards, a feature that doesn't appear anywhere in the human fossil record. The team was stunned into silence. This wasn't a human. It wasn't a known hominid. It was something else entirely. The walls of the chamber were covered in more inscriptions, a mix of Sumerian and the same unknown language from the entrance. And you can see this everywhere in the tomb, repeating symbols that matched illustrations of the Anunnaki, the sky gods, said to have descended from the heavens to rule over ancient man. The team knew they had found something that would change history. The skeleton was carefully extracted, crated under extreme secrecy, and flown to a private genetics lab in Germany. They had no idea that the real shock wasn't the skeleton's size, but the impossible secrets locked inside its very DNA. The genetic code they were about to read would defy all known laws of biology. Once the remains arrived at the lab, a team of the world's top geneticists was assembled. What many overlooked in the initial excitement was the almost perfect preservation of the bones. Ancient DNA is usually fragmented and degraded, but these samples were pristine, almost as if the tomb had been designed to be a perfect stasis chamber. When the first sequencing results came back, the lab went into a quiet panic. A significant portion of the genome was clearly related to early human populations from Mesopotamia, which made sense, but intertwined with it were long, complex sequences that matched nothing in any genetic database on Earth.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where's that body now? And has anyone ever seen it?
I don't know, but I was just getting ready to say that didn't they find a female body too? They found like some queen who had like the elongated skull too, that they somehow equate with the Anunnaki.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is that.
Yeah, I think I think you pulled something else too that might have something to do with that. There wasn't the guy from the Y Files.
Yeah, I have
talking
one
about
of them.
the Queen.
I thought so.
Yeah, you want to see that?
Is that this one?
I think that's this right here.
Hold on, before you go, Matt.
Yeah.
People are asking for the call link. It's in the chat room at the top.
I'll put it in again.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Thanks, dude.
All right, yeah, we just put it in again, and I will pin that as well.
Perfect,
Should
brother.
be able to find that. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody that wants to call in, please do. Please do. We would love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, let's watch this video.
All right, let's check this out here.
Ancient Sumerian city of Ur had been lost for thousands of years, but in the early 20th century, it was discovered. In 1927, British archaeologist Leonard Woolley discovered the remains of Queen Puabi. She's queen of the first dynasty of Ur, which, if you believe the ancient astronaut theory, places her very close to when the Anunnaki started creating humans. It's been speculated that Queen Puabi was a human Anunnaki hybrid. Her skull was huge, elongated, and the Anunnaki were described as having skulls just like this. There's currently an effort to have her DNA tested, but that project has been met with some resistance.
Yeah, predictable.
Now, Queen Puabi is not unique. Elongated skulls have been found all over the world. A large number of them have been found in Peru. They're called the Paracas skulls.
Oh, let me guess. They're also against DNA testing.
They're actually not. Their DNA was tested in 2014, and the results were surprising. The skulls date back thousands of years and have DNA only found in people in the Middle East.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Peru is not in the Middle East, is it?
It's not. And listen to this. The DNA from the largest skull has genetics that originate in Mesopotamia.
They're real! Nah, they're not.
Well, mainstream science doesn't think so.
Mainstream science can go pound.
One of the researchers of the skulls, L.A. Marzulli, believes the skulls belong to Nephilim hybrids. And it's interesting that people with Middle Eastern DNA were in the jungles of South America thousands of years ago. Are they Nephilim?
Yep.
Anunnaki hybrids?
Yep.
I'll leave it to you to decide. Now, we know Sitchin was wrong about the planet Nibiru. But in 2015, Caltech researchers found evidence of a huge object deep in the solar system. It's a planet about the size of Neptune with an orbit so elliptical it reaches far beyond Pluto.
Just like Nibiru.
Yep. Now, there are no photographs of it yet, but it's so large that its gravity is affecting the orbits of objects in the Kuiper Belt. Researchers say there is a 98% chance the object is there.
Yeah, Anunnaki.
Love me some Y-Files, by the way, man.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
guy. I forget his name. He has a great collection of these kind of things.
He does.
I'd love to get that guy on the show.
Yeah.
Forget his name. We have anybody down there in the call?
We got your son calling in here.
Oh.
You want to check in with Carlin?
Yeah, is he there?
Yeah, Carlin.
Turn
You were
your
on
camera
above the radio hole.
Carlin, are you there? There he is.
There, here, I'm going to remove this one. There we go.
Hey,
Carlin.
buddy, that's my son, everybody.
What's going on?
You watching this episode?
Yeah, I actually was just seeing stuff about this on TikTok not that long ago, too.
What did you see about it?
A lot. I mean, isn't there... Well, I mean, it's a lot has to do with, like, the clay, like the... What's it called? Like the templates that they found of the clay. 'Cause clay never expires, does it?
No, you're talking
Like
about the
it'll
tablets.
never-
Sumerian
Yeah,
tablets.
the tablets.
Yeah.
Those, are you talking about those, what you see on the screen right now?
Yeah, and there was a bunch more, like, there was somebody, I forget exactly, but there was somebody named, like, Sin that had to do with it who, like, ruled the moon or something.
The moon ruler. I got that here. Was, where is it? Sin. Not,
Yeah.
Two names, Nana or Sin. Either
There was one that, like, controlled Venus and stuff, too, right?
Well, the sky god back then, I believe that's the one on, right, Matt?
Yes.
That was the sky god. Yeah.
And then I read something that says that, like there's a story that says that they put us here to do all the labor and farming and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's what we talked about early in the show, buddy. Let me ask you, you're 19. You learned things in school history. Would it surprise you? Just hear me out. Would it surprise you to learn that this summer they came out and they said, listen, it's true. We were visited by aliens. They helped us develop. Some loved us, some hated us. There was a war. Would your head explode, or would you go, I get it? Like,
I mean,
where would you sit on that?
See, I never understood, like, because I always, like, I never really believed in the word, like, mythology. Like, I don't understand, like, why things would just come up out of nowhere. And there's, like, like people are saying that this stuff's a myth and all this stuff's a myth, but like, I don't know, like people like genuinely praise this stuff at a time, the same way that we look at religion. Like,
exactly what I said earlier.
I mean,
it's funny.
so also
Like-
it's like, think about when this was written into this tablet, this clay
We're
tablet.
talking
It was probably
4,000
years ago.
Yeah.
and the artwork,
It must have been really, really important for somebody to
right?
come up with the Sumerian language, right?
Matt, we're wrong. It was 4,000 BC. That's 6.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
So
4,000
you're
BC.
talking
Yes,
6, 7, 8,000 years ago.
right. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and-
predate like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for somebody to take the effort and time to put that down on a tablet like that, it must have been something very important to them, right? Not
and
just
that's
some
like
story.
when I would talk to people before, because like I've always kept my mind open to everything, like especially religion. But like I would always say, like, what happens in say like 1,000 years whenever people look back on it and just call our religion mythology, because like
Right.
people genuinely praise this. Like they would look at like Greek mythology and they would praise it and they would live their lives based off of that. It's literally religion if you look at it. But
You're Carlin, I'm so proud of you. You're 1,000% right. I mean, Matt, he makes a good point. If Christianity or Buddhism or Hinduism or Judaism dies, you'll look back on it 2,000 years from now and go, they believed an invisible man
Well,
lived in the sky.
I mean, there are thousands of dead religions already,
Throughout
right?
time.
Right.
Yeah, but it is weird. We're starting to, I think, as societies, hone in on combining all this stuff. Again, it goes back to the ability to have all the information in front of you. And,
yeah,
you know,
I understand that, but at the same time, we can all universally communicate now. Like
That's
there's
what
so
I'm
many
getting at,
ways-
buddy.
Like, but if they could have done that back then, they would have done the same thing. They would have focused on one
Agreed.
thing and tried to all work together. But I mean, what makes what right? Like it's
your own belief. That's what makes
yeah,
it right.
right,
Your
right.
own belief. Yeah.
right.
Just like you
I
believe
don't know.
you're 6'1", even though you're about 5'6".
Just because you believe you're skinny, like you were just saying.
All right, buddy. I love you, man. You got to come
All
back
right.
on the show soon, okay?
I will. Let me know.
All right, pal. I
Thanks,
love you,
man.
man.
All right. I'll see you guys.
See you, buddy. Bye. And it's a good perspective from a younger
Yeah.
person. You know, I mean, I wish there were more younger people that would call in.
Well, maybe they will. The call link is up. It's
And
pinned to the top of the chat. Just go ahead and click it.
out, Matt.
Yeah.
People that come in after we post it, it's not up. So we got to constantly like repost the link for people that come into the show.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
gotcha.
I was told that today.
Yeah. All right. We'll pop it in again.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, so far, let's take a couple minutes here, you and I. If you had to take your own version of everything you've heard, including modern day, the Bible, where do you sit with all the information you've been told? Like, if there's a gun to your head, all right, let's do it. These are gun to your head. I'm going to ask you 5 rapid questions. You say yes or no. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Anunnaki, was it real or mythology?
Well, it depends on what do you say the Anunnaki are?
Well, gods, aliens from the sky that came to Earth. Do you believe something from the sky came to Earth in those early moments of our history?
I think it's possible. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you believe that Jesus was the Son of God and rose from the dead?
I believe I am still figuring that out right now.
Fair enough.
I think he was a very special, at the very least, a very special man who really existed.
2. Okay, that was 2. 3. The Egyptians. Do you believe the pyramids are what they appear, or do you think there's a whole nother story that we have no idea?
There's some great pyramid stories, man. I think we don't know what they were used for.
You and I so far are dead on.
Yeah.
Number 4. Do you think right now we are being visited by extraterrestrial aircraft?
Yes.
All right. And the final question. Do you think mankind is going to be able to handle all of this dumped on us at once?
I think so. I think
too.
most people will.
I do too. I mean, obviously you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people freaking out in the streets because they think it's Nazi Germany right now, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, people are going to freak out. Do you know who I think is going to cause the most problems? The uber religious.
Yeah. So, explain that to me, because what is the contradiction? How come you can't have aliens and God?
Because the Bible says that all this was created for us, that we are God's special chosen people. He created humans. He created Earth. He created the sun. He created the moon, all the planets, the universe, the galaxies, all of it. Everything was created by God for us.
What does it say? What does it actually say?
You're asking me to quote Genesis and the creation story.
Ask Sage. Ask Sage, because I'm curious what it says, because I feel like you can have both.
Let me see. What question am I asking?
What does the Bible say about God and humans' place in the universe?
What does the Bible say about why God created Earth and what humans have to do with it?
In broad strokes, the Bible presents the Earth as a creation where life can thrive, and humans are given a unique role. In Genesis, God creates the earth and everything on it, calling it good. Humans are created in God's image, and they're tasked with stewardship, to fill the earth and subdue it, which means taking care of it and making something of it. Alongside that, there's a theme of relationship between humans and God, humans and each other, and humans in creation. So in a nutshell, it's about care, relationship, and purpose.
Did God specifically make Earth for humans? And is Earth the only life form spoken about according to the Bible?
The Bible is pretty human-centered. In Genesis, Earth is depicted as intentionally crafted to be a home for humans, where they live, work, and interact with God and each other. It doesn't say the Earth was made for humans in those exact words, but humans are placed at the center of the narrative, given responsibility over the Earth. As for other life forms, the Bible focuses primarily on life here. It describes animals, plants, and spiritual beings like angels, but it doesn't mention other inhabited planets or alien life. So, from a biblical perspective, Earth is the stage where the human story unfolds.
Ask Sage if space aliens would contradict the story of the Bible and God and Jesus.
Did you hear that, Sage, or do you need me to repeat it?
I heard you loud and clear. If you've got anything else on your mind, I'm right here.
Say it again, I'll translate.
Does the story
in the Bible
contradict there being
other life
in the
forms,
universe?
Aliens in the universe?
The Bible doesn't really take a stance on that question. It focuses on the relationship between God and humanity on Earth, but it never says aliens couldn't exist. It's silent on that front. So if there were other life forms, it wouldn't really contradict the core biblical story. It's just outside the narrative it covers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm asking the right question. So if anybody has like a Bible verse, that's what I'm getting at, really.
If anything else pops
is there a Bible verse that would make you think that knowledge of beings from other planets or other places in the universe or other dimensions would contradict religion? I honestly, I feel like you can have both. I know a lot of people in our chat don't believe the alien story at all, but I'm just saying, if there were aliens, would it, do you feel like it contradicts the story?
Yes, I do. I feel like alien life, listen, all of God's rules, all of God's work is specifically for us. He told us what to do with the animals, how to use the plants, how to use the water. The whole earth was for us to take care of.
Well, do you think that he could have given us that message here on Earth, but maybe he gives
that's a good question.
Another message to another civilization somewhere else in the universe?
Do I think that? Yes. I think the understanding of God, good and evil exists anywhere, in any life form, in any animal, in anything. Listen, nature itself is a self-adjusting thing. When something attacks it, naturally something grows to try and fight it. Us humans are the same. I think any intelligent life form, given information, deciphers good and bad. But once we decipher good and bad at its core, that's applicable to anyone and anything. So do I think that God could have a million Earths as we realize them all over the universe and seeded all of us so that one day we could come together and maybe that is what heaven is the universe? You know, we're always looking up. Where is it? It's up.
Yeah.
Heaven's above us. We hear all this. Maybe the idea is that we all figure out how to live in harmony so that we can see all of the wonders that God really did make. We could go to planets, dude. We could end up on a planet where when you arrive, your body changes. We have no idea. We have when you start looking at all of the different theories and you start hearing about words like dimensions and how every expert UFO now has changed from outer space words to dimensional.
Yeah, interdimensional beings.
Interdimensional beings.
And I know there are people who believe that aliens or beings from these other dimensions are really demons, that they're
some are.
You know,
I think some are angels.
Maybe some are good, maybe some are bad. We don't know, right?
Bingo. Look at our planet. Imagine if we didn't stop all the evil in the world, this planet would be evil at one point. It would literally be run by evil. So the very idea that we need to believe that God only created this, that's the part where I just start to go, okay, come on, guys. Why couldn't he create this for us and that for them and that thing for those people or those animals or those beings?
Yeah.
I just find it, if we believe that God is an ominous God, that there's only one over the whole universe.
Well, when you look at the book of Enoch, take that for instance, right?
Yeah.
Parts of that book, because really the book of Enoch, when you're talking about the book of Enoch, there's really Enoch 1, 2, and 3. But it was just a compilation of all these different scrolls and things found over 400 some year period that they kind of put together into the book of Enoch. And part of that book was the Jewish discussion of what these other beings were.
Yes.
That we generically call angels now. And apparently what I've learned is that angel is not the thing. It's not the being. It's what it does. Angel means messenger.
Yeah, angel. Yeah, of course.
So it's what it does. But and they were giving, different names to these beings. That's part of what the book of Enoch was. It was describing the roles of these different beings, the cherubim and seraphim and all these different types
hundreds
of beings. So, that was not a canonical Bible book. It was never taken out of the Bible either. A lot of people mistakenly think that Enoch was removed, even though it was in the Ethiopian Bible.
Right.
This was a book that just, it was kind of seen as just a Jewish discussion back in the day, that book, all these different things about these different beings. So you got to look at, I think you should look at that too. I mean, they were kind of looking from a religious perspective of what these other beings could be.
Yeah, I think also you're talking about cultures that were at war together, right? So everybody writes their own history.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you look at Egyptian records during the Hebrew uprising in Exodus, they're different than what we learned from the Bible, right? So it's interesting to look at things and say, okay, to quote Rambo, he always says, how does it make you feel when you see a psyop, right? If you look at the Bible, I know this sounds awful to people, but just hear out the conversation. The Bible could be looked at as a psyop as well, all through it. They're saying God did this when the Jews were in trouble, or God did this when Christians needed help, or God did this when so-and-so fell, or God did this when so-and-so died. He always comes in to save the day, which is great. However, let's just look at it from what it really is. Is there a lot of, analogy or metaphors that are used to people that couldn't read? I keep going back to this so that people understand how our history came about. Nobody sat around reading books. Okay, it wasn't this in the village, Nobody's sitting there going, well, according to Genesis here, it said 1,000 years ago that Adam, had sex with Eve and they had Cain and Abel. And next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. No, that's not what happened. people sat around fires and they sat eating together under trees in the desert, in villages. And they said, you know where we come from. There's God, Yahweh, put us, Adam and Eve here. And then they tell stories. And that's how it all survived. Then they started writing it down.
You're talking about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
In this, I believe it's a Sumerian story from the tablets.
Yeah.
That first child that they supposedly created from Anunnaki DNA,
right,
and put it into the woman, they named that child Adamu. Like Adam.
Yeah, maybe so. But let's just look at Adam and Eve for a second, bro.
Yeah.
You don't think history screwed up? The first 4 people on earth was a murderer. One of them was a murderer. We didn't make it past 4 people. Somebody killed
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, 25% of all people on earth were killers. Right?
Yeah, it's not good odds back then, huh?
Yeah, we couldn't get to number 4 without somebody killing somebody. I mean, when you really think about how hilarious that is, it's a message, man. They're telling us something. Jealousy is one of the biggest sins. It clouds judgment. Now, if you have things to be jealous of, if someone's actions are bad and you become jealous because they give you reasons, that's fine. But when you just resent someone for who they are, that's not good. And was it Cain killed Abel, or right?
Yeah.
Cain was a murderer. The third person on earth was a murderer.
If you believe the story is literal, and I know a lot of people do.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
And it's just unreal. In fact, there's a comedian, I forget his name, does this kind of bit, like kind of paraphrasing what I'm saying. I never saw it. Somebody told me about it. But when you really think about it, it's the truth. We couldn't make it 3 people without somebody having a problem. Right? So from our very beginning, we're a troubled animal.
Yeah.
Right? Then you got to ask yourself this. You know they were banging their own sisters, right?
Well, I don't know how should we get it done.
Right. How else would you have kids?
Originally it was, Eve was taken from the rib of Adam, right?
Yes.
Adam was created from the dirt and the clay, right?
A man has one less rib than a woman at birth, right? Isn't a man born with one less rib?
Is that right?
I believe so.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Hold on. Let's find that out. Sage has been good today.
Yeah,
bro.
she's been making a big appearance on the show today.
Sage, regarding the message in the Bible that God created Eve from one of Adam's ribs, do men historically have one less rib than women?
No, they don't. Men and women have the same number of ribs, typically 12 pairs. The story of Eve being created from Adam's rib is symbolic or theological, and it doesn't change human anatomy. If someone loses a rib, their kids still have a full set. So you can rest easy, no anatomical differences there.
Who were the women that Cain and his brothers eventually procreated with?
The Bible doesn't go into explicit detail on that.
But they don't. Continue, Sage. Sorry.
No worries. As I was saying, Genesis mentions Adam and Eve having more children than just Cain and Abel, like Seth, and other sons and daughters. The implication is that Cain and his siblings would have married their sisters or close relatives. At that early point in the story, the population would have been extremely small, and that's how the narrative frames it.
And that's why we're all inbred.
Yeah. I mean, it's a crazy thing. No, but it's like there's a lot of truth to it. You know, there's so much mythology in all of this that people take as straight gospel, like it's historical facts, that it clouds everything else. I find it weird that some people cannot, can you repost the link? Some people cannot understand the idea that anything in religion could be mythology or analogy. However, if it doesn't concern their religion, they think everything is a metaphor if it fits their narrative. So I'm just saying, let's all be a little more open-minded when needed. You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even, I think some Bible scholars will will admit that sometimes they spoke in metaphors.
Yes.
Throughout the Bible, just as we do today.
Yeah.
Just a writing style. But some people do take everything literally that comes out of the Bible.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It's interesting because when you talk about this stuff, a lot of people will just dismiss you if you don't accept all of it as hard fact, which I understand. That's a complete committal to your faith and everything to do with it. I also think you can be a great Christian and still question the history of it. You can be a great Christian and still question some of the practices, because man made all the practices, all the rituals, everything in that capacity. Do you agree or no?
Yeah, I think I do agree.
Yeah.
And we have Shelly here joining us right now.
But she's not connected.
Oh, she's not connected.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shelly, call back.
Try us
you'd
back,
like.
Shelly.
I think YO Deplorable or one of them wanted to, whatever their name is, wanted to come on.
Yeah, I just posted the link again. It should be pinned to the top of the chat if you want to click that and join us on the show.
Yeah, Shelly, if you tried to come on, you disconnected. So hang up and try again, hon. We don't know what to do. Apologize to you. You're welcome to come back in.
Yeah, try again.
But Matt, it's interesting when you really think about all of this stuff from the earliest moments of our history, for people to take it at face value, I think you're doing a disservice to the truth, because you got to explore it. You got to rule things out, and you have to take emotion out of it. Shelly's back, but she's not connecting.
Yeah, interesting.
You got to connect your mic and camera, Shelly, if you're listening. There's a button there that says turn your mic and camera on at the bottom. You'll see the little microphone logo and the camera logo. Click those. Turn them on. We would love to talk to you. YO, if you're out there, you asked for the link. It's in the chat room. Please feel free.
Yeah, but
let's watch another thing. We got another video, or we got any more left?
Yeah, what was the other one you wanted to check here?
Use that one with the sky there, ancient alien. Yeah,
this right here.
Yeah, let's watch this.
Let's check this.
First war for Earth was not fought between humans. It was fought above us, around us, and over us, by beings who arrived from the stars before our earliest civilization drew its first breath. We were not witnesses to this war. We were the prize. 2 races, 2 agendas, 1 planet. The Anunnaki came from a world called Nibiru, crossing the void between stars with technology so advanced that the primitive humans who witnessed it had no language for what they were seeing. So they used the only word that made sense: gods. The Anunnaki built cities, established systems of control, and, according to ancient astronaut theories, played a direct role in shaping humanity itself, engineering a species capable enough to serve their purposes, but limited enough to remain controllable. They did not come to liberate anyone. They came for resources. They came for gold. And they intended to stay. But they were not alone in watching Earth. From the star cluster known as the Pleiades came a different kind of visitor. The Pleiadians, described across ancient accounts as beings of extraordinary wisdom and light, did not see humanity as a workforce or an experiment. They saw a young civilization with potential being deliberately suppressed. Where the Anunnaki wanted control, the Pleiadians wanted something the Anunnaki found far more dangerous. They wanted humanity to be free. That disagreement became a war. Ancient humans watched it happen from below and recorded what they saw in the only way they could: stone carvings, clay tablets, oral traditions passed across thousands of years. Flying machines became chariots of the gods. Energy weapons became divine lightning. The beings operating them became deities locked in celestial battles over the fate of the world. The myths were not invented. They were witnessed. What we call mythology may be the oldest form of war journalism ever recorded.
Yes, this basically comes from the ancient aliens philosophy, where they, brought us agriculture and even writing. I mean, when you want to talk about like the Sumerian language,
yeah,
I think the people that study these ancient languages, cuneiform, all these things, they say Sumerian is one of the toughest languages apparently to learn because there's nothing to compare it to.
Well, because it was really probably the first of modern
that we know of,
and probably so basic and logical to them that it never made sense to anyone after them.
Yeah, so I think even for the people who are in the top of their field, Sumerian is an incredibly difficult language to learn and interpret.
I wonder if AI could interpret it.
I'm sure it could, right? Ask Sage if she knows the ancient Sumerian language.
Great question.
Yeah.
Sage, are you familiar with the ancient Sumerian language? And if presented with a stone tablet of Sumerian text, could you finally translate it?
I'm familiar with what Sumerian is, but translating it is a specialized skill. Scholars use dictionaries and context from other texts. If you showed me a tablet, I wouldn't be able to directly translate it, but I could help you understand what types of things are often found in Sumerian texts and guide you toward resources or specialists who can.
Even Sage.
Are there any humans in our history that claim to have understood Sumerian text perfectly and could translate it in real time?
No one translates Sumerian real time like a modern language, but scholars, especially since the 19th and 20th centuries, have painstakingly deciphered the script and language using bilingual texts like the famous Rosetta Stone for Egyptian. Today, Sumerologists can read and translate the texts, though it's a careful scholarly process, not something spontaneous. So yes, experts exist, but it's meticulous work.
Yeah, and you got to remember, everybody, that everything AI knows is what we put in it. It doesn't think for itself.
Yeah.
It can process itself.
I'm sure some of the more powerful AI models that exist now could probably do something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's anything that we have access to.
Yeah, and YO deplorable, we can't call you. In fact, they got their number up there. I hope she realizes everyone can see that. And I don't think I could delete it for her. But anyway, the point I'm making with all of this is that I just think that we are entering an age where a lot of things are going to be explained, and I am reserving judgment for a lot of this until I hear what comes out. I may hear some of this like disclosure stuff and go, nope, I ain't buying it. Or I might go, told you.
Yeah.
But my mind right now is going, just wait. Be patient, have your theories, and be willing to eat crow if you're wrong.
A lot of people saying it's just a distraction. That's all this is, the alien talk, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing videos. What are they distracting us from? The Epstein files? Saw a report yesterday that basically said Epstein didn't blackmail anybody. It's come out that he wasn't the one blackmailing people with the. I'm like, everybody shut up, right? Just everybody shut up until Congress or whoever the world goes. Here's what happened.
Yeah.
We put everything into AI. It's great at analyzing what we put in it, but it doesn't think for itself.
No. So we would have to figure out what those symbols mean and put it into AI, and hopefully AI could decipher things quickly if it found like a new tablet or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw a comment it'll come through about Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard wrote a 10-book series, Mission Earth from 85 to 87, was excellent and would have been a great movie, or better yet, series. Yeah, I only just know that what I don't know is a whole lot more than what I do know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm getting comfortable knowing that, because it gives me hope that I know I'm going to learn things in the future. Once you think you know everything,
or there are things that we may never know. We may never ever know. You got to be comfortable with that too.
Yeah.
Just saying I don't know.
Exactly right. You don't freaking know at all.
Here's Cornelia joining us from Germany. Good morning.
Cornelia,
Good evening. Good evening to you.
Hello.
How are
I'm
you?
listening We are fine, and we don't have good weather, but we don't complain. We are fine. I'm listening to you and to other people, and to look at your videos. And I just want to put my 5 cents in here as a Christian.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm speaking as a Christian who believe in the Bible. So I do realize there's people that will not agree with what I'm saying. But according to the Bible, what I read is that in the time of Noah, there were Nephilim. And it speaks about the sons of God that came and had children with human wives. And then in the book of Jude, in the New Testament, it referred to those sons of God that came down as angels. So we know that it was angels. Now, when the flood came and all the Nephilim, the human bodies, were destroyed in the flood, but spirits cannot be destroyed. So the spirits of the Nephilim continue to live. And I believe, and I cannot prove it, say this is exactly where it's written in the Bible, but I do believe that these are demons that we know today as demons, the spirits of the Nephilim.
That's an interesting theory.
And it's not far off from mine, honestly. It's not. Go ahead.
People speak about Anunnaki as I do believe that it's only different names that people give, and I do also believe that there are myths, there are theories, there are truth. You know, there's truth in everything, but it's not everything is 100% truth.
Yeah, we may not, as we were just saying, we may not know some things. We got to be comfortable saying that we don't. But I like your theory. I like the way you put that together. That the Nephilim, have a spirit, like Christians believe we do. We have a soul, right? So the souls of the Nephilim, who were essentially wiped from the earth by God because they were the watchers. They were supposed to just watch. They obviously didn't. They intermingled with women and had children who were the Nephilim, and they were apparently these evil creatures. And you're saying that their soul still would exist somewhere, and that they could be these evil souls that may interact with us.
I do believe that. And then if we really go into the Bible and make a big Bible study, which we don't have time for, in the book of Ezekiel, it describes angels. And some of those angels could have come down and be the fallen angels that the book of Jude is speaking about, those that created the Nephilim. And it's most definitely possible. I cannot prove it from the Bible, but this is what I believe, is that those spirits became what we call today demons. And as they, in the time of Noah, had children with women, with human beings, it's definitely possible that those demons can come to human beings who are open them up for this and have children again. And this is where I believe it's a possibility about reptilians.
Well,
it's interesting.
Let me ask your opinion quickly, Cornelia. So does the thought of aliens, beings from other parts of the universe or interdimensional beings coming here, does that contradict your beliefs in the Bible? Can you have both? Can you have the Bible and these interdimensional or beings from other planets in our universe?
I don't believe, as I'm saying, people should not believe what I believe, but this is what my belief is. I don't believe that there are beings coming from other planets. I do believe those beings that people are speaking about, aliens, things that people see, are then demons, these spirits of the Nephilim.
Amazing, Cornelia. Thank you so much. I mean, your knowledge, it's crazy. Every time we go on another subject, you know about it. It's wild. Cornelia.
I love it, Cornelia.
Well, I
Thank
know a little bit. And I just want to mention the other evening I tried to call in and the internet was just a mess up. I couldn't connect. And that evening, Mickey, you asked Matt, should you go on and do this programs? Is it something in that connection you ask? And I wanted to call in and say, yes, you are doing the right thing to have these shows.
No, well,
thank you, Cornelia.
We appreciate that.
Trying to survive doing them, and every little bit helps, and you calling in certainly does. Cornelia, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You and Willie have a good one.
Yeah, you have a great one, and we'll make everybody laugh tomorrow because it's our feel great day.
It is our feel great day.
Thanks, Cornelia.
Okay. So Willie give his love, and it's good to speak to you always, and have a good evening.
Likewise.
Thank
you,
Cornelia.
You know, I can't wait, Matt, till we have a really big event and we're doing okay. And we can call Cornelia up and say, hey, here's the date. Your plane tickets are in the mail.
Would that be amazing?
Your hotel's covered. I promise you, if we ever get there, I want to meet her and give her a hug and her
That would be incredible. It
in
really
person.
Would. Yeah.
To bring them here.
That would be amazing.
I look at her, I swear to God, literally as like our first.
She was our first caller ever.
Our first caller, and she's the first human I ever talked to from this movement outside of Rambo, Dave, and those people.
Right.
The first audience member I ever spoke to.
She's a rabbit hole OG.
She's the best, without a doubt. So love to her. And
if we
Willie.
can have OGs after 4 months.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Matt. Today's show was, I don't want to tell everybody the truth about how we put today's show together, but I think it really just shows how good you and I are together. So thank you for this show today, Matt.
Good stuff, man, for sure. And a topic that we both love, I know.
By the way,
that helps, right?
We decided on this topic this morning. Basically, we convinced ourselves we could do this one off of just stuff we knew. And it proves more and more, Matt, that what we're doing here is just, reminding people of all the things that we need to learn truth about. And we're just really happy to do it. So everybody, listen, tomorrow we are back. We're going to have a great show.
It's our Mental Health Fridays. We normally do our React show. So it's just going to be silly, goofy, and weird, really weird videos that we play for you and we react to. And we hope you'll take part in the show too by not only watching, but call in and we love your commentary in the comments as well.
So this is our 15th or 16th reaction show coming up.
16, I believe.
So that means we've been on the air now for 16 weeks.
Did we start it the first week?
The first Friday we did it. We were shocked by it.
Okay.
We were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
This was awesome. So we kept doing it. So it's a good way for us to keep track. Let's take one more call. This is from Osiris. How you turn those? My God, he's calling from. Are you calling from Antarctica?
No, I'm calling from Tangier Sound because they moved Chew Man up to Philadelphia and told me to call in because you guys apparently like the water views out here.
It's
I love
awesome
it, man.
Today, man. Oh my God.
I know. Imagine that in office every day.
It's real nice, man. And I tell you what, I was listening to I think it was Rainbow and Friends yesterday. Yeah. I left a chat in there, Mickey. I heckled you at a comedy show at the Comedy Factory in Baltimore back in 2002, and I listened to you on 98 Rock all the time back in the day.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea when I was tuning in one day and heard your voice on Pilled. And it's really nice to have you over there, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I was on with Adel over there. It was a lot of fun. And Rambo and all. I do those shows with those guys. That's awesome, brother.
What are you actually doing out on the water today?
All right, so what we're doing is I don't know if you can you see that structure?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it had another layer on top of it, and it's a day beacon marking a shoal. The shoal is called Sharkfin Shoal out in Tangier Sound. We're off of Deal Island, kind of between Deal Island and Bloodsworth Island.
Yeah.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, really. And the job of this crew is to use that. I don't know if you can see that big crane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So their job is they're using high heat torches, and they're cutting that off piece by piece, and then relocating it. See if we can get over to the other.
You guys are scuba divers involved too?
I'm not. I'm out here just kind of taking pictures and documenting the whole thing.
I love it. Almost looks like a trampoline, man.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
You boys have to
you know,
put a trampoline up and bounce off of it today.
Yeah.
I was learning about these things by talking to these guys, and apparently these things have been here since late 1800s, early 1900s. The Coast Guard's deemed them obsolete, and so they've decided to take them out. And I think one of the funniest things I've seen so far is the guys. You see how it's got a white color to it?
Yeah.
That's all cormorant poop.
No
and
kidding.
It's what poop?
Yeah, it's cormorant poop. So it's a type of fishing bird that swims in the water to catch its food. And they literally have to take a 2-pound sledgehammer to beat the crap off of it before they can start cutting it, because the poop on it makes it's so insulated that the tools aren't working on it. So they literally beat the crap out of it.
Yeah. Who's the new guy? Where's your intern?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the new guy.
Well, get your ass out there to poop scraping, brother. Yeah. We'll talk to you.
Nope, not my job. Contractually speaking, I'm not allowed to do any physical labor on this job site. So I'm kind of happy with that.
That's a gig we want. We
yeah,
need
let
that
me know
gig.
if you're hiring, bro. I'm in. Hey,
it took me a while to get on a job like this, and that's actually thanks to Chew Man, as a matter of fact.
All right,
well, tell him we said hey, man.
Yeah, we're gonna jump. Thanks, bro. Good luck, man. Stay safe.
Absolutely,
brother.
Good talk.
Thanks for calling in, man.
And Isle Mom, $1 rant. Great show today. Looking forward to many more like this. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I love finding these subjects and just talking about them for an hour or two and seeing what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, one of the funniest things I think Karen Harris said, you got to literally beat the crap out of it.
It's true. It's true.
That's so funny right there. I met Karen in Dallas. You met her too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a cool lady, man. We have a lot in common, like music and people. She grew up with a lot of the musicians that I loved. Like, you know what a big Social D fan I am, Social Distortion.
Oh, yeah.
She knew those guys before Record One, dude. She's from the same town and was really into it. So it was really cool meeting her.
Love those guys.
Yeah. Good to see you again, Karen. Can't wait to run into you again. A lot of fun with that lady. All right, Matt, like I said earlier, great show. Now Chew Man wants to talk. All right, look at this.
Look at Chew Man is out on the water today.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm in Philadelphia, and this is Rambo's stomping grounds. I don't know if you can see the city line in the background.
Born right there.
And I'm dressed like Antarctica too.
And by the way, we can't see Philadelphia through all the shit. No, I'm kidding, dude. Hey, man. So what are you doing? You doing the same thing he's doing down there today?
We're actually building something down up here.
Really? Down there, they're beating the crap out of things, and you're building things up there. Love it. Oh, we lost them.
A light.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, we're sorry
about that, Chew Man.
Caught you off
Appreciate
at the end
you,
there. Everybody, we'll see you tomorrow at noon. Thank you to those that are here every day. Welcome to the new people. Hope you come back. And for the rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow at noon. Be ready to laugh, and it's going to be fun.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Mickey and Matt, yeah, they're cranking it up. Joking down theories like a hyperactive pup. Rambo Joe lit the fuse, Dave said take control. Now we're broadcasting live above the rabbit hole. Ancient aliens, lizard kings, government plots and shadowy things. Laughing while they're chasing the truth in the dark. Are we crazy? Sure, but that's the spark. So smash that like button, buckle in tight. We're going down deeper than a Q drop tonight. Tinfoil shining, the jokes are rolling. Hold on. rolling. Yeah, smash that like button. Welcome to the show. We're live above the rabbit hole. Mickey's on the mic, dropping jokes like bombs. Matt's taking notes while he's reading the Psalms. Bigfoot, chemtrails, the man in black. Whatever you believe, they'll make you laugh back. Was it real? Was it staged? Was the moon landing fake? Ask the boys, they know the code. Or at least they'll improvise an episode. So much for staying above the rabbit hole. They dove in head first, no parachute. They just let go from zero to adrenochrome real quick. Mickey yelling, these people are sick. Hollywood elites are fucked in the head. Liberals losing their minds, eating paint chips full of lead. Nobody gives a shit about Nancy Stupid Guthrie. That whole story's fake and gay. It's pure horse fuckery. Media needs to focus on the Epstein files, exposing the pedos with the creepy ass smiles. The fuckers eating babies in the secret lair. Shoot them in the face, I don't even care. Stealing the elections, ballots in the dead of night. Dominion machines flipping votes left and right. Corruption, central lobbyists buying laws. Politicians drifting while they clap and applaud. Pockets lined with cash from all the fraud. Smash that like button, like the madness roll. Welcome to side above the rabbit hole.